Hey guys, what's up? This is Fula with another video. I just want to speak a little bit about Floyd Mayweather um, and the situation over at his camp. You know, it's really crazy that like a lot of his fighters are kind of like dropping off and leaving the Mayweather Promotions, and some are even like trying to find ways to leave. And we all know who that somebody is. That's Gervonta Tank Davis. It was very interesting to see on his Twitter that he was talking it up with Eddie Hearn, you know, about a potential bag over at the zone, matchroom, whatever you want to call it. And also, Gervonta was supposed to fight on the Wilder Fury undercard, but that's no longer happening for some reason. And the reason is, it looks like it's because of Floyd. Now, what I'm saying is that Floyd is by far one of the greatest boxers to ever live. In fact, he's one of my favorite boxers. If I have to pick a top 10, then Floyd is definitely in the top 10. Floyd is even actually in the top 5 of my favorites. I understand that Floyd want to, try to mentor and guide fighters, and try to make them do certain things. But the thing is, these fighters are individuals. They're going to do what they choose to do. He can only do so much to lead them, He can give them tips. He can give them advice on how to, attack fights and whatnot. But sometimes the advice is not really going to translate to getting the job done. Like, for example, in the last fight with Bottle Jack and Adonis Stevenson, Bottle Jack was kind of selective in letting his shots go and was kind of gun shy. So that's why the fight was a tie, basically. And you can see footage of Floyd working with Bottle Jack, on the fight. And so this leads me to the question of, is Floyd really a good promoter? Like, can Floyd really take a fighter to that next level? Can Floyd really make fighters a household name? If he still wants to be a household name. Because when you look at his actions, his social media accounts, and what have you, you see him on these big vacations. You see him in places like Dubai, Thailand. You see him with, of course, surrounded by women and whatnot. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. There's nothing wrong with that, absolutely. But what I'm wondering is he more into still people looking at him rather than, bringing his fighters up, rather than possibly making some of his fighters bigger names than he was, because ultimately, if Floyd cared, then if the fighters made money, then he would make money, basically, because there will be more demand for them and whatnot. But the fact of, Gervonta asking Eddie Hearn for a bag, it's not really a good look, And there's even the case of an up and comer two up and comers actually. One of them I know personally. He was named the Eagle. He's the Eagle. He's another African brother. He was under Mayweather Promotions. I asked him when he left Mayweather Promotions, like, yo, what happened over there? Like, why didn't you stay? I mean, you're with Floyd, you know? Like, what more could you want? Like, that's a good look. And he told me he didn't want to talk about it. He had no comments about it, you know? And then I look at the other situation of Josue Vargas, you know, Josue Vargas, you know, he was an up and coming Puerto Rican fighter. And I'm like, yo, this kid's nice, you know, he got some skills and he under Floyd, so it's a good look. But then he's leaving. You know, he left too. You know, now he's in top rank now. And, you know, I mean, obviously he thinks that's the best for him. But it's not a good look that, like, these fighters are leaving Floyd, you know. And now you have to wonder if Gervonta is going to leave, you know, Mayweather Promotions as well. I'm not saying that some of the things that are happening aren't of his doing, because, you know, he was arrested for, you know, hitting a guy in a nightclub or something like that. And he has gotten into, like, some different things. And you got to look at the company he's hanging around with. He's hanging around with people like Adrian Broner, and that's definitely not a good thing, because let's be honest, Adrian Broner has not been focused since Maidana beat him, and that's just a fact, you know. And so I think as for Gervonta, he needs to just, like, get focused, really stay driven, stay hungry, and stay wanting to get to that next level. On the other hand, when you look at Floyd in these interviews, when you look at him, like, at even fighters press conferences, when you look at the, you know, him at fighters weigh-ins, when you look at him at all these different events, you would swear that he's the one fighting, because, you know, the attention is always on him. You know, I remember one press conference or something, I forgot for what fight it was for, but you would think that, you know, he was the one fighting. You know, he was talking to the younger fighters, like talking about all the cars he had and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, you know, what's the point? So, you know, on Floyd's part, I think, you know, and I can't tell another man what to do, and he probably ain't gonna hear nothing I say anyway, but as a man in his shoes, I would make sure that my employees are happy, you know, that anything that they need, they got, you know, because at the end of the day, those are my employees, you know, and my company wouldn't be able to run smoothly if my employees aren't happy, you know. And there has to be a sense that you have to, like, teach them. I mean, Floyd has been through the trenches, you know, he's seen the ins and outs of the boxing game, but it seems like for some reason he wants to put them through the outs of the game, you know. There's no reason why Tank should be on Twitter talking to Eddie Hearn. There's no reason for that, you know. What isn't Floyd doing that would make him even go in that direction, you know? And you have to wonder, like, for example, up and comers like Devin Haney, people like who are seasoned in the game like Earl Spence, like Terrence Crawford, you have to wonder why they chose not to sign to Mayweather, you know, Promotions. You have to ask yourself these things. So, I don't know what's going to happen in the Tank situation. I don't know if he's going to leave or if he's going to stay put. But one thing's for sure, like, I think Mayweather, he should check himself when it comes to promoting these fighters. He has to really like do a good job promoting them and give them the game. And also, in addition to giving them the game, let them be able to still build their own brand. Let them be able to have their own like movement within his movement. That's how it would basically go. And then that way, when people talk about Mayweather, they'll say, "Oh, he promoted such and such, who, did this and did that." He would immediately have, his fighters attached to his name if they were, treated better. But that's all I got for now, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that, Floyd should like just rethink his promotion game. Let me know if you think that these fighters should leave Mayweather Promotions. And let me know if you think that, this is the fighters doing more so than it's Floyd's doing. And shout out to the whole LDBC. I'm off until the next one. Inshallah.